want to let y'all know what's going on, everybody. What's up, y'all? Y'all ready for slavery? Hold on for a second, guys. Hold on for a second, guys. I'm here. Just bear with me. Trying to get my little nightstand thing. Because we need to talk. Because the Lord put a message on my heart. Because Jesus is coming back. And it's time for the saints to get ready. Because Jesus is coming back. Well, I just checked the news and I saw that Donald Trump is about to win the presidential election, and that is a sign of the times that we are living in. But I want to let you know that God is still in control. No, I said no. I'm going to let you know that God is still in control. He coming, y'all. Hey, women, black women in the chat, y'all better get them coochies ready. And you better start learning how to make biscuits. Get your booty ready and start learning how to make biscuits, because slavery coming back. And Massa gonna want some good black coochie. Oh! I gotta start practicing being a coon. I gotta become a Fox News black. Like, my name is Quan Millz, and I'm officially. Do you think of Glorilla turning the DNC into the source of wars? I didn't see that. I mean, listen, I told y'all a while ago, I stopped caring about that shit. Because at the end of the day gotta end. At the end of the day gotta end. And truth be told, I saw this coming. Really enjoying your steering while my Asian wife dones me up. But one thing about the Democrats, all these celebrity endorsements, who the fuck, who do they not realize people don't care about that? I don't give a fuck if J-Lo and Beyonce and Oprah is telling me to go vote. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I don't know why they thought that was going to move the needle. Hi, my name is Oprah Winfrey, and I want you to go vote for Kamala Harris. Our democracy is at stake. Bitch, I don't care. Who the fuck is you? They really thought, they really, they really motherfucking thought Beyonce was going to get me to go vote. Yeah, exactly. Democrats need to learn how to read the room. Celebrities are not favorable in society anymore. Exactly. I didn't vote. I did not go vote. I told y'all I wasn't voting. I was dead serious. I'm an ignorant ass nigga. Now all I care about is money, pussy, and the the Getty Green. I did not vote. I don't vote. I don't believe in that shit no more. I know I sound ignorant as hell, but I do not. I don't waste my time with that shit. Listen, let me tell you guys something. We live in a capitalist corporate oligarchy hellscape. Okay? I told y'all a couple of weeks ago, I don't care about that shit no more. Cause listen, no matter who gets elected, Kamala Harris, she ain't gonna do shit. She ain't gonna do shit. She ain't gonna do nothing. Shit is just gonna be. Listen, all of these politicians are in bed with multinational corporations. And see, black folks, y'all be sitting up here trying to think the government gonna come through for you. The government ain't gonna do shit. You better try to get some money. Right, we only 13% anyways. Y'all need to stop. All I see is black people for the last 8 years just crying about Trump. Ain't got no damn money. You could have been, all them tears, you could have turned that shit into some transactions. Get you some money so you could be global. But see, y'all sitting up here trying to motherfucking think the government is the end all be all for everything. No, it's not. It is not. Now, don't get me wrong, it has an influence. But guess who has the ultimate influence? Multinational corporations. This shit ain't gonna change. Listen, when I saw Warren Buffett say at his investors conference months ago, and I told you guys this, I said this, that motherfucking old ass white man said Berkshire Hathaway sends in a fat ass check every motherfucking year because they believe in paying their fair share of taxes. And he further went on to say that if every other multinational corporation headquartered in America paid their fair share of taxes, not another motherfucking American would have to ever pay income taxes and social security taxes. Think about that for a second. He literally said if every multinational corporation paid their fair share of taxes, your ass would never have to pay a single dime in federal income taxes and social security taxes. Y'all don't think that shit is crazy? You don't think that every month when you get paid, every 2 weeks when you get paid, and you see the feds and social security, federal income tax, social security, Medicare tax, that is money that could have been in your pocket. That's money that, so essentially we are giving subsidies to multinational corporations. You think Kamala was going to change that shit? Yeah, corporations run everything. Exactly. That's why I'm like, when I saw that, I was like, you know what, fuck this shit. And you are talking to somebody who has a master's degree in public policy. I know a lot about politics. I do. I'm telling you, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's bullshit. Corporations run everything. They run everything. Right, exactly. Capitalism is crazy. I'm telling you. And black folks, we just be getting all so uptight about who's getting in office. I see all these motherfucking celebrities and all these black celebrities, like even Plies. I'm like, nigga, can you please go back to talking about, um, well then again, Plies is almost 50 years old, so I guess he figured the rap game ain't for him no more. But nigga, can you please stop talking about politics? See, the motherfucking Republicans, they trying to take over motherfucking the country and shit. And all these motherfuckers say, I'm like, what are you talking? I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Him, D.L. Hughley, all these damn black men, these celebrities, they were yapping at the mouth, acting like acting like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are like out here saving the world. Yeah, he is annoying. And listen, the Republicans, they just took the Senate. Y'all, this shit is over. This shit is over. This shit is done. White folks say, get back. I'm like, folks, they ain't playing with y'all. They say, get back. And let me tell you, to my Latino brothers and sisters, y'all better start learning how to speak that English. Y'all better start learning, because, hey, listen, you ain't gonna just gonna be going to Denny's and shit. And we're gonna start. They be like, excuse me, are you legal? Can I see can I see your paperwork, please? They coming for us next. You know that's right. They ain't coming for me. I ain't no nigga. They coming for niggas. They ain't coming for me. See, one thing I will say, I obey the law. I obey the law. They ain't coming for me. See, the problem is, when I get pulled over by the police, I'm like, officer, what did I do? I'm sorry, officer. I apologize. Oh my God. I was speeding. Oh, oh my God. Here's my driver's license and registration. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, just go ahead and give me that ticket. I apologize, officer. No, I changed my mind. I told y'all, if you've been in my lives for the last month and a half, I said Kamala was going to lose. I just haven't been posting videos. You referencing the videos that I had made from earlier this summer. But I changed my mind. I said, oh, no, 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 no. She finna lose. She finna lose. It's way too close. Right, exactly, Nelly. See, I told you, I changed my mind. I had flipped. I said, oh no, she finna lose. She finna to lose. Y'all better, hey, listen, like I said, if you ladies, black women, if you still got your grandmama in your life or a great auntie, call her up tomorrow and say, Grandma Annie, I need to know how to make some biscuits. Give me your fried chicken recipe, because we're going back to the plantation. Master gonna need them good butter biscuits. First thing, January 18th. Or whenever. I'm just playing. Ain't gonna be no slavery. Here's the thing. Y'all just can't be on no nigga shit no more. So y'all better stop listening to that rap music. Y'all better stop celebrating Big Meech and them coming home and whatnot. Stop listening to that Sexy Red. See, Sexy Red had y'all out here uh, getting them abortions, fucking, getting STDs and stuff. Y'all was having a good time on OnlyFans. That shit is a wrap. We finna have a conservative Supreme Court until we're senior citizens. Uh, it's true. Yeah, cause listen, you know who finna retire? Oh no, TikTok ain't finna get banned. Cause Trump said he ain't finna ban it. Trump said he ain't finna ban it. I'll tell you this though, he ain't gonna ban it cause his biggest donor is the man who owns TikTok. That white man. See y'all, let me pull this shit up. There's a white man, a big time Republican mega donor, who is one of the largest owners and investors in TikTok. And Trump initially, what do you call it? He said he was gonna ban it. The court shot it down, and then he changed his mind. No, it's not Elon Musk. No, his name is Jeffrey Yass, I believe. Jeff Yass. Jeff Yass. Yep. He's worth about $50 billion. I'm in denial about what? I'm not in. Listen. I play the game. Y'all niggas better learn how. Y'all better learn how to start code switching and play the game. Be like, yes sir. How are you? Oh my God, that's horrible. Y'all better get rid of them tattoos. Cut them locks off. Get you some nice business suits. I'm telling you. You need to leave that dope alone too. You need to leave that dope alone. Get rid of them locks. Get rid of them dreads. Get you some nice business suits. Get you a wig. Start going back to church. Don't go to no black church. Go to one of them white churches. Go to one of the Episcopalian churches where they sing, I've got joy, 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 down in my heart. I got joy, 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 down in my heart. Go get you a job, a good job. Go back to school. Start learning how to cook. Start learning how to cook. I can change my skin. Michael Jackson did it. But I don't need to change my skin. I'm going to be like, I don't think they call Pennsylvania yet, but he finna win that shit. And all he needs is just one state, really. And Kamala got to win Pennsylvania, Michigan. She about to lose Minnesota. They ain't see Minnesota coming. It's crazy. They're like, oh my God, Minnesota. And then you saw his margins in Georgia. Them white folks down there, they not playing. They're not playing. They said, oh no, not this time. Oh no. All those Negroes down in Atlanta, hell no. You're gonna go vote. But you know what I'm surprised about? And I will say this. No, he did not barely win Georgia. He did not barely win. No, let me see. Let me check. Let me actually, you know what? Before I speak, let me do the due diligence. If Hillary couldn't do it, we should have known. I know. I know. Why are you okay talking about your race like this? What do you mean? I'm an American. I'm not. I can't associate with you all anymore. I can't. I have to be an American. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. So won't you stand up? God bless the USA. They calling me to the field first? They are, but I'm gonna be the overseer. I'm gonna be on the horse, managing y'all. I ain't picking nothing. I'm gonna be on the horse with the whip. I'm finna join the academy. Fuck that shit. I'm finna join the academy. I'm finna, what do you call it? I'm gonna be the Uncle Tom cop. Get out the car, nigga. Get out. And my white partner can be like, I'm like, man, you're doing too much. Shut up. You don't know nothing about these niggas. I know all about them. Where that dope at, boy? I know you got that dope on you, nigga. I'm gonna be that black cop. I know you got the dope on you, nigga. Where that gun at, boy? Oh, trifling ass nigga. You probably ain't got no job. You probably got 3 baby mamas. Probably barely take care of your kids. Oh, try hating niggas like you. Oh my God. Was that you who was saying that she was gonna win a while back? I did, but y'all referencing my old ass videos. Y'all knew. I told y'all I had changed my mind about a month or like 2 months ago. That's why I stopped posting. I said, "Oh no, she finna lose. She finna lose." He will be the first to feel the deception after the TikTok jokes are over. Listen, I know how to navigate white society, sir. I really do. I really do. Listen, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I voted for Trump. I couldn't do it. My God, yeah, And I'm gonna be like, when I go to the golf club and I'm gonna be at the golf club. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I tried to tell those, yeah, black people, yeah. Yes. Actually, no, actually, guys, I told you I didn't vote. I did not vote. I stopped caring about that shit a long time ago. How did I know she was gonna lose? Her poll numbers, the polling, it was just, I'm like, eventually there should have been some serious deviation. It was too much of a statistical tie to, I'm like, at this point, yeah, it's just way too close. It was way too close. And plus, I live in Illinois. I live in Chicago. This is a Democratic controlled machine. So it wasn't going to matter if I was going to vote or not vote. People might make the argument, well, if everybody thinks like you, then the Republicans would win. Listen, not everybody thinks like me. Y'all could go vote. You could go vote. I'm about to make this money. Do you think she's going to win though? Hell no. She ain't going to win. She ain't going to win. She was supposed to take Georgia. That was supposed to be a solidly blue state by now. And she lost that big time. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Well, she couldn't flip no red states anyways. That wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen. But Georgia, that was supposed to be a blue state all the way through. Biden barely carried it the last time around. But by this point, 4 years later, with more and more black people moving to Georgia, and then there was supposed to be a surge, she just won Michigan. I was about to say, because you will be set up or set up yourself. They will be. You must be about 55 years old because only older black people think like that. See, y'all still trapped in 1992. These white folks don't care about you. They don't. I don't know why y'all be sitting up here thinking that white folks. um, yeah, you stuck in 1989, man. I didn't vote. I did not. Only thing I did was I played the lotto today. I don't think I won that though. I played the Mega Millions. Uncle, I saw you at the poll stop. No, you did not see me at the polls. You didn't. You did not. Trust me. All I did all day long was get on my Peloton and then I gooned about 5 times. Somebody asked me why I didn't vote. So is it therapeutic? It is. I feel like I'm just joking about what? Not voting or gooning? I'm not one of those no fap. Um, I don't believe in that. I think that's nonsense. Even if you have a wife or a girlfriend, I think men who do that, who have it, who talk about semen retention and all that nonsense. Mm-mm. I need to let my nut out. That shit does not bring you magical powers. Holding that nut in ain't gonna make you become a billionaire. You better go enjoy yourself. Life is too short for you to be not looking at some booty and having your fantasies. Live life. Nah, no fap works if you stop watching it. No, that shit don't. That shit don't work. Ain't nobody. Mm-mm. Why didn't I vote? I live in Illinois. Y'all don't understand something. I used to work in politics, okay? I know how this Democratic political machine works in Chicago. Everybody and their mama gonna go out and vote for a damn motherfucking Democrat, okay? It's Illinois. I ain't no swing state. We're not a swing state. Now, everybody went out and voted. They did their civic duty, whatever, blah 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 blah. Now, if I lived in a state like Georgia or Michigan or Pennsylvania, whatever, I would have voted. But you're pretty much wasting your time, honestly. Now, this is my opinion. This is my perspective, okay? But you're wasting your time. Not to mention, you guys, and I just said this before a bunch of you all joined the live. And I see people joining the live. They probably think, oh, he's so ignorant. Oh, my God. He didn't vote. I don't give a fuck. Multinational corporations control America. Y'all, listen. I don't think anybody really understands that we live in a corporate oligarchy. Democracy is largely a facade. This shit is a joke. And then here's something else too, and I was talking to my wife about this today. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but how are intellectually disabled people allowed to vote? People with Down syndrome, people with intellectual disabilities, like people who collect funny money from the government. How are they allowed to vote? Y'all don't think that's stupid? You could technically, there's more than president on the ballot. Local leadership is at stake. Yeah, but nope, there was no, who was I voting for? Like, I don't think you understand. I live in a solidly blue Democratic congressional district. None of my senators are up for re-election. Dick Durbin is the senator. Uh, what's the name of the other lady? Oh my gosh, she's in a wheelchair. She's an amputee. Tammy Duckworth. I don't think y'all real. I live in Illinois. Illinois. J.B. Pritzker, big ass, is the governor. This is a solidly blue Democratic area. In fact, when you look at the ballots, when you live in one of these blue districts, a lot of these candidates go uncontested. There's nobody challenging them. See, what people don't realize is when you live in a blue state, now, are there exceptions? Like, there have been times in presidential politics where it was very important for you to go out and vote. George Bush, that happened in 2004. He flipped a lot, but remember, this was post 9/11. And nobody was going to go up against that. He was seen as a savior at that point. George Bush, and I'm talking about 2004, not 2000. Not when he was going against Al Gore. I'm talking about in 2004 when he was going against John Kerry. Post 9/11, George Bush was seen as almost like the Messiah. And he flipped a lot of states to being red. George Bush. In 2004. Not 2000. What's crazy is, I'm from Miami, Florida. And I was in my junior year of high school. When he got elected in Florida with the whole hanging Chad bullshit, and he won by 357 votes, and it had to be decided by the Supreme Court. That was a bunch of bullshit. And plus, the Electoral College is bullshit. It's insane that now it's looking like she's about to lose the popular vote too. But anyways, going back to what I was saying before, when you live in these solidly blue states, if you live in I think a lot of people don't realize this. When you live in a solidly blue state like Illinois, right? Primaries are more important than actual elections. Because Republicans and independent candidates, they don't stand a chance. Like, you would be better off if you have more conservative views running as a conservative Democrat and trying to primary somebody. Like, take, for instance, here in Chicago with the mayoral election. Brandon Johnson, he's the mayor of Chicago. The mayoral Democratic primary is pretty much how you get selected to be the mayor. Nobody is going to run against, like, there's not going to ever be a Republican running against a Democratic challenger in a city like Chicago in a general election when it comes to local politics. This happens across the board. The only time it really matters is gubernatorial elections here in Illinois. And that's because what people don't realize, 60% of Illinois' population is in North Illinois, mainly in and around Chicago and the suburbs. And then the rest of the state is solidly red. So that's the only time voting really matters for Illinois, to be honest with you. But when it comes to presidential politics, everybody's going to go out and vote for a Democratic candidate. In Illinois, I mean, it's just going to be overwhelmingly Democrat, to the point where, I mean, now mind you, this is the first time in my life I did not vote. But like I said, if I lived in like Georgia or Michigan, maybe Nevada, any of these swing states, I would have voted. I would have voted, but Kamala don't need my vote. But y'all are sad. Y'all are acting way too sad. It's gonna be all right. I've got a feeling that everything's gonna be all right. Oh, who do I think is gonna win? Donald Trump. I've been said this. I sold my vote for a $20 in a chicken sandwich. Yeah, I've been said this. I said this a couple of months ago. See, the reason why you all are probably confused is because I haven't made videos in a minute. I think the last time I made a video was back in what, August? Early August. I don't really post content anymore like that. I don't. And then when I go live on here, I go live. I'll be on here for like a few hours and then I dip out and then I deactivate my account. But I've been said Kamala was gonna lose. Why don't I post anymore? Because I don't have anything to talk about. And the thing is, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna switch the subject for a second. I've been seeing a lot of big ass people doing their weight loss and fitness journeys, and I'm gonna need them to shut the fuck up and just lose this weight. Like before I got on live, I got my ass on the Peloton. I did the Peloton twice today. Cause I'm gonna lose this motherfucking weight. And listen, when I pop back out and start posting again, I'm going to have real content, videos, before and after shit that I can really share with you all. I'm not going to sit up here and waste my time. Guys, it's day 40. Like that dude who be juicing, that big dude who be juicing, he pisses me. I had to block him. I had to block him on on Instagram and on here. Because I'm like, dude, first of all, you sitting here juicing for however long. I'm like, you're stupid. You are stupid. You are going to binge hard, thinking that you think you're going to drink green juice, apple juice, until you lose weight. And then he's so ignorant to, like, I don't care about protein. I just want this weight off of me. Nigga, that is the stupidest diet to follow. Just cut back on what you're eating. But you going from one extreme to the other, clearly you have issues with food, sir. Like, get your big ass off of TikTok. Stop telling the world, him, this other girl that's on Instagram, she like about 500 pounds, and she just want to hula hoop all day long. And that's cool and all. That's cool and all, but you don't have to post that every fucking day. And then the thing is, and I'm gonna be honest with you all, because I'm somewhat of a narcissist. I'm somewhat of a narcissist. If your ass is big and you lost a lot of weight and you got a whole bunch of loose skin, we don't want to see that. We don't. I don't give a fuck about your process. I don't give a fuck about your journey. I don't give a fuck about your process. I don't give a fuck about your journey. I don't. You don't look good. You don't. I'm going to be the first to say you don't look good. And I know a lot of people, oh my God, that's so mean. Oh my God, that's so mean. I don't give a fuck. You don't look good. And then they post this shit. What you want from us? I'm not. Motherfucker, you better figure out a way how to get some money and get some plastic surgery. Because all that loose skin, that shit be pissing me the fuck off. I'm like, your ass gonna sit up here and lose about 300 pounds and post your shit on TikTok thinking that we supposed to suddenly, oh my God, you look so great. No, you don't. You don't. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You don't. And the thing is, and Mac, you said something too. I'm telling you, these people need motherfucking confirmation and validation from random strangers on the internet. take your ass to a motherfucking therapist. Is loose skin avoidable? It depends on how much weight you gotta lose. It depends on your genetics. But my thing is, at the end of the day, okay, people are mean on social media. Like, they are objectively mean. So why subject yourself to that type of psychological torment? Because when you go from, listen, people need to realize something. The psychology of posting weight loss transformation videos, people want to see you go from looking like a fat, nasty slob to looking like a fitness model. They don't want to see you go from looking like a fat, nasty slob to you just looking normal and healthy. That's not the whole point of posting on social media. You have to wow people. You just, and then my whole thing is, what you want us to give you cookie points for doing something your ass should have been doing anyways? That's another reason why I stopped posting. Because first of all, this is for me. This is my own self transformation journey. Yeah, I might talk about whatever. But if we're going to be quite honest, I was only doing it just to make money off of TikTok. But when I quickly realized, I'm like, no, I ain't putting myself out here for who? For what? I'm losing weight for me and my own health. That's number one. Number two, it's getting validation and praise from social media for what? And you're not going to make no money from it. You're not. Because people are not going to take advice, to be honest with you. Now, you might get a few folks. Don't get me wrong. You might get one or two people, who might sign up for your little coaching or whatever. But you got to understand something. I've been telling people this all the time. And sometimes I be having these conversations with my wife. She's like, "You fucking crazy," and I'm like, "But she's like, you're right." Listen, here's the thing. At the end of the day, what's your motivation for losing weight? Don't say, "Oh, I want to get healthy for my kids. I just want to be healthy." Motherfucker, you are 27 years old. You don't want to get healthy for your family or your kids or longevity or whatever. Stop lying. You want to look good. You want to stand out. You want to be able to walk into a room and have people be like, "Oh shit, who the fuck is that?" That's the reason why everybody wants to lose weight. You want to look good in clothes. You don't want to be no big fat nasty slob. You want to look good. You want to impress people. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's the other dilemma. Losing all that weight, first of all, if you got loose skin, you ain't going to look good. You're not. You're going to need surgery. And even after you get all that surgery, you're still probably not going to look good. You probably won't. Because that loose skin is just, it's not. But here's the other thing. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of men need to hear this. A lot of men, let me tell you guys something right now, okay? If you're a guy and you're listening to this, thank you for saying this, and they want to talk about loose skin as a trophy. Yeah, I know that I lost a weight so I could breathe. I'm not saying don't do it for health. Don't get me wrong. You probably do need to lose weight for health. Everybody does. I'm including this. I'm not trying to judge. I think that what I'm trying to get at is, there's a stoic saying that when you want to make change in your life, you need to just shut the fuck up and do it and commit to it and grind it out. Okay? You don't need to. There's this obsession now with everybody wants to get on social media and put themselves out there, thinking that they're so unique and special that everybody needs to see my story. We don't. I don't. At this point, unless you went from being a fat, nasty slob to looking like Superman fitness model on the cover of a magazine, your story is not that fucking unique. 70% of the United States population is considered, 70% of the U.S. adult population is considered overweight / morbidly obese. Why do you think your story and your struggles with food addiction is just so unique that everybody needs to hear about it? We don't. That's, to me, at this point, unless you went from, like you made it, like you look like, I saw a girl, she did a video, she talked about losing weight and how her face changed. She looked good. It was a black girl too. She looked good. She looked different. She looked good. I was like, oh shit. That's what I want to see. Wow me. Wow other people. But you just losing 300 pounds, and then they want to gaslight and be like, oh, my loose skin is a sign of the war that I went through. And I'm like, okay, well, we don't care. We don't want to see it. And then they get mad because they get a million motherfucking people in the comments like, what are you doing about the loose skin? What are you doing about the loose skin? What are you doing about the loose skin? But the point that I'm trying to make is, and I'm going to sound like a narcissist saying this, let me tell you guys something. And this is for men. You can get that body if you want to, but if your face card, if your face card is horrible, that shit is going to get declined. You can have the best body in the world, be jacked up to the nine, but if you look like a motherfucking, it's a dude right now going viral on TikTok named Quan, the online trainer. Quan Bailey, I think his name is. And he made a video talking about how he just turned 33 and how he came back to Chicago. I don't know if you guys saw this video. And everybody was caught up on the fact. They were like, 33? And this happens to him all the time, where people harass him because they're like, there's no way in hell you are 32, 33 years old. He gets harassed all the time. And the last video he made, it blew up. And then he's making stitches to the video, not stitches to the video, but responses to people's. He put his age out there on purpose because he wants to go viral. Yeah, but you know what? Let me tell you, I can hear it in his voice. That shit is getting to him. Because one thing that people don't understand about when you're in the content creation space and you're constantly dealing with that type of negative feedback from people, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, it will affect your mental health. It will affect your mental health. Because I know it's done it to me. But see, that's why you gotta, sometimes you gotta dial back and know that, look, hey, you gotta let people, and the thing is, if you have to put yourself, if you really are committed to putting yourself out there, you have to develop. He just posted about how it was getting to him. Yeah, I saw. Yeah, exactly. It is getting to. I can tell you, this is not the first time that this has happened. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Yesterday, when I saw another one of his videos, I legitimately felt bad for him because I know what it's like to be in his shoes as a content creator, and you are getting that type of just constant negative feedback. And the thing is, I know why it's also messing with him is because people just get caught up on his face. He is an extremely athletic, ripped to the bone, built, athletic man. But nobody cares about that. Because one thing that I've come to realize when it comes to your transformation, if you're on a transformation journey, it can't just be about getting your body together. You got to have the whole package. And I think to some extent, his name is Quan Bailey, online trainer, by the way, if you're confused. You got to have the whole package. I'm going to be honest with you. He needs to get rid of that mustache. That's number one. That mustache is ridiculous. He kind of reminds me of, what was the name of that comedian? that used Gallagher that was smashed the watermelons and stuff. And then he probably needs to go to a dentist, get some dental work done. But that's gonna run him some money. That's gonna run him probably at least, because he has a really bad underbite, and he got some other dental issues. He's gonna need about a good probably 5 to 10 grand to knock out all his dental issues. He needs to get on a really serious skin routine. Stop using cheap disposable razors because it's messing with his skin. He needs to grow out a full beard, get it trimmed up, and stop getting them damn supercuts, white people haircuts. Because that's what it's looking like he's doing to himself. That or cutting his own hair trying to save money. He need to take his ass down to motherfucking Marquavius in the hood and let him taper that shit up. That's what he need to do. He is 33. He is. And they going in on him. They are going in on him. Oh, he got a white girl? Oh, see, I knew it. I knew it! At first I was like, I wonder if he's gay. Because I was kind of getting like gay vibes from him. It was something, I was like, I wonder if he's gay. But you know what? That's the thing. Black men who date white men, who date white women, they sometimes there's this signaling, there's this vibe that they give off that they might be gay, but it turns out they just like white women. But that's what it is. That makes sense now. Oh, see, he need to stop. See, that's where he fucked up at. That white girl got him in his head. See, they don't really black women. How to make yourself visually, like right now with what I got on, this mustache and shit. I know this is not the aesthetic to attract a black woman or to be appealing to black people. Okay, I know this, but see, when you are acculturated around white people, or when your whole entire social network is primarily them, see, a lot of white guys, they don't really be down into fashion and grooming in the way that black men do. They don't have to, because they don't have the see, white guys especially, they don't give a fuck about being out in the sun, letting that sun cook the fuck out their skin. That's the reason why by the time they hit 40, they look like they're about 55. Because they spend all that time in the sun. They be on boats, drinking Budweiser and shit, and going fishing, and just watching sports, and listening to baseball on the radio and whatnot. Black people ain't doing that. We keeping our asses inside. And if we do go outside, we already know to put on some motherfucking sunscreen. But see, that's the thing. These white folks, they be having their asses outside. They be going to them baseball games, football games and shit, and they be, and especially when you be on Twitter and like the carnivore people for the last 5 years, who's we won? Who is we? You talking about Trump? I don't think it's been called yet though. But he probably will win now. He probably will win. Um, he gonna win though. They done took the Senate. Man, listen, and all these liberal pollsters, that Alan Lichtman, oh no, if they won the Senate, they flipped some seats. They took a seat in Ohio. They got a seat in West Virginia. They just swore Ted Cruz was going to lose his seat, and the nigga who was going up against him lost big time. Them liberal man, Alan Lichtman, whatever his name is, with his 8 keys to the presidency bullshit poll, and lately he's been flipping out. That motherfucker, his shit was wrong. He is going to lose. I mean, his poll. Who did you want to win? I want Jesus to win because Jesus is Lord. There's only one person I want to win, and that's King Jesus. Um, I mean, quite honestly, Donald Trump should have never been on that ballot. I mean, if we're going to be quite honest, Donald Trump should have never been on that ballot. The fact that he still has active court, y'all don't think that's crazy? How so many people just disregard the fact that he's had all these active court cases involved in January 6th and um, election interference down in Georgia, business corruption, um, up in New York State, fraud, all the lawsuits, his relationships with Jeffrey Epstein or his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, but the law allows it, bro. You can't make up the rules as you go. What are you talking about? What law allows what? What are you talking about? What does the law allow? Oh no, the law allows him to run, but what I'm saying is that he should have never even gotten as far as being on the ballot, as far as the Republican National Convention even taking him serious as a candidate and allowing him to even get that far. But I'm also talking about the voters themselves. The fact that they're willing to overlook his and then the thing about Trump, he is a straight up pathological liar. Like he has no type of integrity at all. Like you can't, and like this is the issue. Like he could say one thing and end up doing something completely different, and then completely justify it, and have no qualms in flipping. He's already proven that he will literally say whatever he has to say to get elected, and people will believe it. He himself, listen, I kid you not. I was watching one of his rallies, and you know what he said? I'm not hurt. I'm just calling it. That's not being hurt. I'm going to be honest with you. If you actually take Trump seriously as a politician, you have intellectual disability. You haven't. I'm not saying this because I wanted Kamala to necessarily win, and that I just feel like Kamala was the best thing ever since whatever. No, because to be quite honest, she's just like every other power hungry, narcissistic politician. I don't. The political system in America is fucked all around. I actually don't believe in democracy anymore. Um, I've come to this bittersweet realization a couple of months ago. I don't think electoral politics actually works. I don't think I don't think democracy works. I think having people, average ordinary people, many of whom are intellectually disabled, having to go select individuals to run government is the most nonsensical thing ever. But I'm not seeing any. Hold on, let me go to New York Times because CNN is tripping. I feel like it hasn't been called yet. Well, you're saying let's go to Twitter. Just accept defeat. What do you mean accept defeat? What are you talking about? You act like I think you must have just joined. You must have just joined my live because I'm not here. I'm not here trying to advocate for one candidate over the other. I didn't even vote. ABC and CNN call his win for a. Oh shit. Oh shit. But why aren't they talking about this? Like I'm on their website. Trump will win Pennsylvania critical swing state. ABC News projects. Okay, so they are. So I'm on their website now. Okay, yeah, he won. It's over for her. It's a done deal. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, it's over. It's done for her. All he needs is just to. She needed to win all three of the states. Yeah, that's why her ass ain't showing up to Howard University, and they knew that she wasn't going. She needs Pennsylvania. Yeah, she needed it, and he won the popular vote. But this is what I'm saying: the fact that many people went out there and voted for him. Let me tell you something. What Donald Trump said, and this shit was hilarious. I was watching one of his rallies. He said this in real time, and I'm like, these people are stupid. Like people who support him are objectively stupid. Let me tell you what he said, and it blew my motherfucking mind. Somebody in the audience looked like they were about to pass out, right, at one of his rallies. He's like, "Oh no, don't down me, don't down me. Somebody go get him help, go get him help," right? And then he literally said, okay. Somebody asked, "What happened to the weight loss?" What do you mean? What happened to it? What happened to your weight loss? But anyways, um, somebody, so he said this right. He was like, okay, he was like, look, and he literally said, he was like, listen, I don't need you all to die on me. I don't need you all to die on me. I need you all to stay healthy and active until November 4th, so you could vote for me, and then afterwards, then you could die, because then you'll be of no use to me. Then he literally said this. I am quoting him verbatim. He literally said, I just need you all to stay alive until November 4th or November 5th, and then you could go and die, and then at that point, you're of no use to me. Somebody said it was sarcasm, brother. No, no, that's not sarcasm. He was he was being serious. He just was lacing it within a joke. That is not sarcasm. And every time I'm telling you, I watched him say this in real time. I mean, anyone would say the same thing. But this is what I'm talking about right here. This how you all just downplayed and oh well he was just joking. You all are slow. This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like people who support him, I am telling you, it's almost as if this election is an IQ test. Because no intelligent person in their right mind would even let him get this far. Like nobody. The fact that people just overlook business fraud, all of his scam charities, even while he was in office. I don't. I don't think people realize just how horrible of a president Trump was. And here's the thing that blows my mind about Trump. Okay, he keeps talking about inflation being so bad, inflation, blah 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 blah. First of all, let's set one thing straight. And this is the fucked up. This is what I'm like. People are stupid. Right before COVID, right? Right before COVID, Trump literally put pressure on the Saudis to cut their oil production. And gas prices shot up because he was trying to help his friends in the oil industry. But COVID came right around the corner, and supply was instantly, the demand was it instantly fell off, and the supply instantly was cut off as well. And what's crazy is, okay, check this out now. Check this out. When the, well, actually, you know what? Before I even go down that path, before I go down this path, let's even talk about the 2018 tax cuts. When Paul Ryan, I don't know if you all know who Paul Ryan is. Remember, he was a former Speaker of the House. Remember, before it was Paul Ryan, it was John Boehner. Remember him and Obama used to go at it. They used to go back and forth with one another over Obamacare. And then John Boehner retired from Congress. And then Paul Ryan became the Speaker of the House. Okay? Remember the Speaker of the House? You don't remember that? And Paul Ryan himself said his biggest accomplishment was passing Trump's tax cut, where essentially he gave a temporary payroll tax cut to the middle class, tax cuts to the rich. He pretty much gave everybody tax cuts, but the tax cuts for the middle class were temporary. But for people making over, I think it was like over $600,000 or $700,000, it was permanent. And for corporations, they lowered the corporate income tax rate from it was like 30% down all the way to 20% or something. Like they keep driving it lower and lower and lower. The tax cuts expired, what was it, last year? And then everybody started wondering, oh my God. Oh my God. Why, what happened to my, why is my paycheck getting smaller? This is what I'm saying. Like you literally have idiots out there, people who are intellectually disabled, who are a lot and not even just intellectually disabled. Like I can almost guarantee you, the vast majority of people who go into a voting booth, and this is not just for Republicans and Democrats, but it's probably more skewed for Republicans at this point. The vast majority of them probably are semi-illiterate. I can almost guarantee you that. I can almost bet you the average person going into a voting booth casting a vote for Donald Trump probably cannot even read a textbook or a novel at an 11th or 12th grade reading level. So the fact that people with you could literally have Down syndrome or a missing chromosome or an added chromosome and literally have a full-on intellectual disability, and you could go and cast a vote. You all don't think that that's crazy? You don't think that that's insane? That we literally have people out here allowed to go vote for politicians who have a direct influence over our lives. My brother has a TBI, so all his friends uh, from special ed, guess who they're voting for? Probably Trump. Do you think we're going down the Handmaid's Tale route? No. I think we are just entering the corporatist capitalistic hellscape version 2.0. But I've been said this. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all. Y'all better go out here and get money. Fuck bitches, get money. Fuck bitches, get money. Fuck bitches. You wanna sit more on my living room floor. Play Nintendo with Caesar Leo. Pick up my phone, say Papa now home. Sex all night, mad head in the moan. Spin my V, smoke all my tattoo on TT. Say MBIG, now check it. You wanna be my exactly. Get money. Y'all better go get you some money. Better stop fucking around. Stop relying on that government. Cause you know welfare. Well, if we finna get some Reaganomics 2.0, 3.0 type shit. Listen, no, it's Kamala lost. She gone, baby. Listen, you wanna go? Let's go ahead and mourning. Okay, let's go ahead and sing. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost. It's over. She's listen. We could go ahead and have this funeral. This ain't a funeral. This a celebrate, and we here to celebrate Kamala. This is your vice president. This is your vice president. This is your. Y'all probably don't get that joke. It's from Tyler Perry's Medea. Mr. Brown, Meet the Browns. Make America Great Again. Wait, first of all, Gigi, are you an Arab? Are you one of them Arabs? No, they ain't gonna run. She ain't gonna run again. We need a white man. Listen, black folks, it's time for us just to take a step back. We don't need to be in. Listen, time for us to take a step back. Let's let the white folks duke this out for the next 20 years, okay? Let's let one of them white folks. Let's let what's his name, the governor of California, uh, Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer. Let's let them. Let's let them have this, okay? Let's let the white folks. We need a superhero Tom Cruise looking white man. That's what the Democrats need. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the reason why Democrats really lost. When you look at the exit polls, There is a drifting happening between women and young men. Young men are becoming more conservative, more religious, and younger women are becoming more liberal and more atheistic. And see, the thing is, a lot of men, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, and I thought that, now initially I thought, I'm like, ain't no way in hell these young guys are going to go out there and go vote, right? I was wrong, 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 wrong. That red pill content is really sinking in. The manosphere has really pushed this election over the edge. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I believe Trump won, okay? Trump did something that I thought was so brilliant, but I did not want to really dial into this and talk about this. He hit up all the Manosphere podcasts. He hit up all the white boy Manosphere podcasts. And then eventually he went on Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan endorsed him, I believe, yesterday or today. And then on top of that, Twitter has literally become a social media platform all dialed in on Trump. Man, let me tell you, guys, um, listen, let me tell you something. Men are so insecure of the mediocrity that they're trying to bring us back to the dark ages. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's so much mediocrity. I really do think that, to be honest with you, I think in this very capitalistic society, it's official. He finally got it, so they announced it. No, he got PA, but he won though. He won because they're waiting on Michigan and they're waiting on I can finally afford groceries again. Listen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, um, J Mojo. Um, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. If you can't afford groceries now, you ain't gonna never afford them. If you literally are in that type of situation right now, you ain't gonna never be able to afford them. Inflation will always go up. And what people don't realize, inflation is not a result of government policy necessarily set by the government. Inflation went up because of the excessive, well, initially it was the excessive printing of money that was put into the economy to stop businesses from collapsing. But here's the thing, inflation has gone back down. But what you are experiencing is a combination of corporate greed to some extent. But the real big driving factor for inflation of goods and services, there is a labor shortage. A lot of baby boomers have retired and they are retiring. They're leaving the workforce. And then Generation X, they're moving into upper management. And now there's a massive um, labor crisis happening that is driving up there's driving up the cost of goods and services. That's the reason why inflation is high. It's a labor shortage in the United States. And nobody is hiring because of this election. That's really the big issue. I thought it was price hiking, and it's not. It is not. The situation is way more complex than that. I thought it was because of corporate greed and because of the increased profit margins. It is not. It's not. It is literally a labor shortage. It's a labor shortage. There's a massive unaddressed labor shortage in the U.S. labor market, and it's driving up the cost of goods and services. Yeah, we need more human capital, and a lot of people are, to be honest with you, are not experienced and don't have the education or the credentialing. This is why when I know it is corporate, it is not corporate greed. I'm trying to tell you that that's just a talking point thrown out there by uh, liberals, and it is not. I thought the same thing too, and it is not. It is far more complex than just corporate greed. It is not. I thought the same thing too. Now it is to some extent, but it's not the big driving factor. It is literally a labor shortage. They are price hiking because how do they have record high profits when everyone else is worse off? Um, like I said, it's just far more complex than it's just not it's just not corporate greed. I thought it was the case too, but it's not. All the leading economists in the United States, it's yeah, and the same thing with farmers. Yeah, it's a really complicated mess that, to be honest with you, it's the whole corporate greed talking point. It falls apart when you really start doing the research. Um, you say you have a master's degree in business. What's that supposed to mean? Just because you have a master's degree in business management doesn't mean anything. I'm literally telling you that like there's a unanimous consensus amongst a lot of economists that it's not just a result of corporate greed, that there are also other major contributing factors to why inflation is high in the United States, and a good reason why is because of labor shortages in the United States. I, what is that? What do you not under? Listen, now I'm gonna have to pull up. And to be honest with you, to be I'm gonna be honest with you. Um, the United States actually, we're in a better off economic position than the rest of the world. Yeah, believe it or not, we have one of the strongest economies, if not the strongest economy right now in the world. Better than China, yes. China is not. China is a shitty ass. I used to think that China was like this. Uh, I used to think that China was like this. Oh my God, they have this massive military power, and at any given moment they could wipe America off the planet. Oh my God, let me tell you Chinese military is garbage compared to the United States military, even Russia. Woo! The United States military is essentially the world's police 10 times over. The United States has all types of fighter jets, um, stealth bombers. They even have, we have a whole fleet of submarines that cannot even be detected by any known technology out there. Not to mention, the United States, one of the reasons why China is so pressed on trying to get access to Taiwan is because we dominate when it comes to, what do you call it? Computer chips and, what do you call it? Processors, stuff like that. Um, there's another, what's the actual technical name for it? I forgot. Not microprocessors, but the United States military could literally blow up every single country on this planet within like 10 seconds. Even Russia. I thought Russia has, the only thing that Russia has on the United States is, yes, even on Russia. The only thing that Russia has on the United States is they still have a massive nuclear arsenal. But the reality is that that's not the reason why the United States is, like, these countries are not necessarily a threat directly to the United States. They are a threat to other countries that will destabilize the global world order that the United States has effectively put into place to create the type of economic dominance that allows America to benefit in a way that other countries can't benefit. You see what I'm saying? So, like, take for instance with Russia, one of the reasons why live outside the U.S. for a while and you get a rude awakening. I'm telling you, the United States military, no, they don't have the manpower. They don't have the China doesn't even have the naval capabilities to even go up against the United States military. It just is night and day. The amount of money that the government spends on the military is outrageous. Every year, the government Congress literally gives the Department of Defense over $1 trillion. You guys know how much money that is? Right. The United States government has military bases virtually in every single country. The reason Russia is struggling with Ukraine, LOL, definitely not over for us. Exactly. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, the United States government is essentially the world super. Like, it is. You can't even say that we're an empire that's on its verge of collapse. Whatever, blah blah. I'm telling you, the government and the military of the United States. Listen, the white people in America are sitting on so much motherfucking military power and wealth. It is unbelievable. That shit, we're evil. Yeah, like, I'm telling you, but the fucking department. Thank you so much for the gift. The the Department of Defense. I'm telling you guys, they spend so much money every year. I think the Arabs from the UAE have more money. They don't. Because guess what? We control them. They need us. Y'all don't realize Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, they need the U.S., the United States. Let me tell you something. The only reason right now why they're not an outpost of the Iranian government is because of the United States. I don't think y'all realize how much motherfucking power the United States government has. The United States military, the government, like everything that's happening in the world is happening because the government is allowing it to happen. Would you would you say that the United States is stabilizing the Middle East? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. I think it was almost inevitable, to be honest with you, that everything that you're seeing happening in the Middle East right now, it was almost inevitable. And don't get it twisted. Donald Trump becoming president now, let me tell you, the Middle East never needed to stabilize. Yes, it did. It did. I'm gonna be honest with you, it did. It really did. It really did. Because let me tell you something. Uh, House Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, Bashar al-Assad, his father Hafiz al-Assad, Hezbollah. I mean, most of the governments in the Middle East were authoritarian regimes that were literally killing their own populations. Like Saddam Hussein, the president of Syria, Hafiz al-Assad. Thing is, we were partially responsible for a lot of that. Yeah, but it's chess. It's chess. It's just the way I see it was chess. I'm telling you, these issues are far more complicated than what they seem like on paper. Because here's the thing: at one point in time, the United States military, or I should say, the United States did support Iraq against Iran. Remember, during the 80s, Iran and Iraq were engaged in a long, decades-long war. But you all wouldn't want to see like the installation of like a democratically controlled government in many of these countries. Crazy you think that after the failure in Afghanistan. I want to be honest with you. Um, and I know I'm going to sound very crazy saying this. Afghanistan did not fail because of the United States. I don't think you all realize the United States actually does a lot of good for the world as well. Like, I'm not trying to be an Uncle Tom or anything, but we give a lot of money, a lot of assistance to many of these governments all throughout the world. And I think just making the United States out to be this big boogeyman that just goes around and bullies other countries is, I mean, it's very, very short sighted. Um, the United States practically built South Korea exactly. Like, we helped rebuild Japan, modern Japan. I mean, the United States also is one of the reasons why uh, China is the major superpower that it is today. But I'm going to tell you the reason why the Middle East and Afghanistan and all other parts of Central Asia, why they're pretty much fucked, even parts in Africa. It's the culture, the people. Um, it's the people. It's the people. Like, they're backwards. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but yeah, people just don't want to admit to that. and they would say the same thing. No, they would not say this. People are dying to get to America. They wouldn't say the same thing about us. Yeah, we have our fair share of problems. We have our fair share of problems. But if you're an American, trust and believe me, you would not want to go live in some of these Middle Eastern countries for the rest of your life. You wouldn't. Don't sit up here and think that, oh, it's all good in the hood in places like Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. They still have slavery in many parts of the Islamic world, in many parts of the Muslim, in the Arab world. That depends on the country. No, there's objectively no good country in the Middle East. None. Every single, especially in the Gulf, every single country is essentially a theocratic monarchy. Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Oman. Like, in many of these countries, if you say anything publicly about the king of Saudi Arabia, if you say anything about the king of Bahrain, if you say anything about the president of, like, literally, like, in many of these countries, I don't think you all understand, like, their militaries are their police. Like, they literally go around encroaching on people's civil liberties. Like, when I used to be friends with a lot of Arabs and a lot of Muslims, I used to make these jokes, and sometimes they would look at me like, "Stop saying that." There's a. I don't know. Do you speak Tatikalum Arabiya, Miriam? Do you speak Arabic? You know exactly what I'm talking about if you know what I'm saying. In Arabic, there's a term, Jihaz al-Mukhabarat, or the Mukhabarat. Have you heard of that before, the Mukhabarat? And in most of these countries, they have essentially like their own version of the CIA or internal security apparatus. Okay, and these essentially these security services, if they find out that you might be a part of some sort of political opposition, even if you just had the illusion, if you were just a relative of somebody who might be affiliated with some underground democratic movement or some sort of resistance group. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night with violent knocking on your door. And it's literally people from the Mukhabarat. They walk inside, they bring your mother, your sisters out into a living room, and they are like, "Ahmed, you have been saying bad things about President Bashar al-Assad. Is this true?" "No, I would never. I would never." "Are you sure?" "I would never. I would never. Bashar al-Assad is our president. Is my president. I will give my life for him. I will give my life for him." And they'll tell you, right, and you know what they do? They will sit there and rape your mother, your sisters in front of you. This is what Saddam Hussein and his goons, the Mukhabarat, this is what they used to do to people. He used to have his own security services go around and harass people who were deemed not to be loyal. People, yeah, or Day Hussein and Hussein O'Day. Yeah, I'm telling you, like, this is what I'm like. When I hear people talk about, oh, we're so mean in the United States, it's so bad over here. Mine, while over here, folks got BLM. BLM was not getting harassed. Listen, I don't think you guys understand what life is like in many of these third world developing countries that don't have democratically elected institutions. There's no type of transparency. None whatsoever. Right. When they come over and act like they be like, we got it. Exactly. People are literally escaping the horrors that exist in places like in Cuba, Venezuela, Syria. We have a whole population of Syrians that fled trying to get away from what happened with the civil war between the Syrian government with Bashar al-Assad and then ISIS. And they live in motherfucking the Midwest. They live all over, live in America, live in Detroit and shit. You got people escaping all of these different countries trying to get to America. Right, people will literally cross a desert. People will literally get smuggled in the back of like they will literally sleep next to dead, rotting bodies to get here to the United States of America. Do we have our fair share of problems? Yes, we do. But to be honest with you, there's no perfect country. And another thing people need to stop doing, stop comparing the United States to Norway or Denmark. Those are small, culturally homogenous countries, mainly comprised of white people. Kids are being put in cages at the borders of the USA. Those were not cages, those were detention centers. Those were makeshift detention centers. Let's stop with the BS. Let's stop acting like people were put in dungeons and were treated like, see, this is the reason why liberals lost. Because y'all so damn hyperbolic. Okay? You're being hyperbolic. You should have never been trying to cross here in the first place. That's number one. Not to mention, the United States, okay, so cages is fine. Where do you want these kids to go? Where do you want them to go? You want to go put them up in, you want them to go, you know what, how about you go, you you go put them in your house. Let them come stay with you, Miriam. And y'all can eat tortillas and tacos and watch TV and shit, and you can put on a DVD of Selena. Itty bitty bong bong. Itty bitty bitty bong bong. I know you ain't gonna do that though. I know you ain't gonna do that. A black man trying to make the U.S. out there. Ain't no perfect. Listen. What do you want me to? What do you want me to vouch for? See, that's victim mentality. That is the victim mentality, and I'm sorry. I reject that in 2024. I reject that. That's that to me. I'm over that shit. I am so over that shit. That I'm telling you, you don't understand. In many parts of West Africa and in Central Africa, they don't have running electricity. They don't have infrastructure. Like they don't have they have rolling blackouts. Don't have access to clean drinking water. There's places like that. And okay, so you talking about a handful of places. I'm talking about a whole ass country. Why y'all get so dialed into the handful of places that are essentially fucked up in the United States? And then even then, you're talking about like a handful of communities. opportunities. If you live in America, you have it pretty good. You really do. But y'all want to be victims so bad, and that shit is so sad. It really is because you don't realize just how good you have it in America. You really don't. Quan, do you think the United States still operates and benefits from modern day slavery? I don't think it's the United States. That's just capitalism. See, I think this is the fundamental issue here. Listen, we live in a capitalistic society all the way around. Okay? So, whether you go live in Denmark, or you go live in Canada, or you go live in uh, wherever you want to live, capitalism rules a whole entire global economic order. It is inescapable. Exploitation is built within capitalism. It's somebody is going to be taken advantage of to some degree. It's almost, you cannot avoid it. You can't. For there to be a real change, you need a worldwide socialist revolution. But that's never going to happen. You know why? Because the one thing I have come to realize, and this is the problem that I think a lot of people fail to realize, you all are way too dialed into this idea that at our core nature, human beings are good. Are good. You all believe that we all could just be capable of just being peace-loving, law-abiding citizens where we all just get along and we just take care of each other and we can just all have fun. And no, no. We are an animal species. We are an animal species. A competitive, intra-competitive animal species that some of us are going to want to be at the top. Some of us are going to want to. What do you mean we don't have to act animalistic? We are animals, Miriam. We are animals. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but where do you think you come from? You think you literally just beamed out of space from a different planet and got no, ma'am. You are a descendant of some Australopithecines that crawled their asses up out of Africa 2 million years ago. We are animals, sweetheart. Whether you want, listen, you got, and you can't even control it. You can't control it. I could be walking down the street right now and I see a woman with a fat, juicy ass and a pussy print that just is calling my name. My mind is just gonna be, oh my god, because that's just the man. I'm a man. That's testosterone. I can't stop my brain from not thinking about sex. I have testicles that have testosterone. We aren't animals. Oh my god. Feminine XX a feminist. Shut up, ho. We are animals. You are an animal. I'm an animal. Everybody is a fucking animal. We are just highly evolved animals that know how to build spacecraft that can go out into space and shit. Y'all want to sit up here? We're not animals. The fuck? Allah created me. Okay, ho. Animals don't commit genocide from land. You're wrong. There's documented genocidal behavior amongst animal species. See, that is something that a lot of people don't realize. You think animals are like, oh, baby, watch Animal Planet. See how them crocodiles get down on them damn hippos. You ever listen, y'all? How you gonna sit up? Listen, there is certain animal species literally go to war with one another. This is documented. It doesn't have to be that way. old are you? About 23? War is inevitable, baby. It's gonna happen. Humans, we are not perfect. We are not perfect. I'm not saying we just gotta let the world descend into chaos, but you gotta understand at the end of the day, we just live in nothing more than a concrete jungle. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, sweetie. Bro, if you have animalistic tendencies, that's not our problem. I want peace and a good life for, and that's not impossible. It's being done, I swear. Miriam, baby, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Go and get you some. Let me stop. You need an SSRI. No, SNRI. You don't have the cope. Go get you a good SSRI. Bro, it really doesn't have to be that way. Okay, but it is. Shit. You, Miriam, coming from a place of privilege and zero world travel. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Doesn't have to be this way. Well, it's that way, baby. You gonna have to deal with it. Life is not fair. It's not fair. That's what you fucking up at. You sitting up here thinking that somebody owes you something. Don't nobody owe you shit. Doesn't have to be that way. Well, how about this? Why not just go move to Europe? Go move to motherfucking Denmark or Norway. But I'm telling you right now, it's gonna always be the accent. Yeah, I know. Because it's always some whining white girl, some whining white woman, liberal. Like, and why are y'all stressed out? Y'all ain't got to deal with 95% of the nigga shit that people got to go through. I'm North African. You're white. Trust me, if you go into a room right now filled with black women, your ass is white. You are a white woman. North Africans are Arab, and you know how Arabs are classified in the United States? As white people. You claim to be black, Miriam? How are North Africans white? That's according to the United States Census. They consider, well, actually, you'll be classified as Asian. Look at my profile pic. Okay, so you look Jewish. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made you out of clay. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. That's not my problem if you think having Mediterranean nose equals looking Jewish. Baby, I'm trying to let you know. Listen, this America. Once you got that one drop of black blood up in you, you are considered black. But there is a spectrum to this shit. Not to mention, well, I know they're technically not Arabs. I know that because y'all were technically colonized by the Arabs. But North Africans, there's no distinction between an Arab that's living in Libya or Algeria and an Arab living in Saudi Arabia. There really isn't. Now, you might make that distinction, but according to that white man in his U.S. Census, there's no distinction. Your ass is an Asiatic. Unless you do go out of your way to claim to be black. Do you claim to be black? I remember one time, but I'll never forget. I met this dude from the Sudan, and this nigga was so black, and he looked like a nigga straight from Mississippi, from Tupelo, Mississippi. Had him a little afro and everything. And I said, "Oh, you're black, and you're from the Middle East." He's like, "No, I am Arab." I was like, "All right, nigga." That was the first and last conversation I had with him. He's like, "No, I am Arab." And he said it so confidently. "No, I am Arab. We are Arabs." I was like, "Okay, well, good luck trying to convince Kevin McAllister, uh, the white man, living in Gainesville, Florida." Who do you think is going to be the most impacted over the next 4 years? Shit, I can't even tell you. I ain't listen. I'm on a plan. I call it Plan 2040. I'm on a mission to make money to become a multi-billionaire. I don't give a fuck about no politics. No, I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm just trying to get me some money and pulls. I don't give a fuck about all that social justice shit. Project 2025 is gonna all of our rights are gonna go away. Okay, bitch, we'll stop popping pussy. Some kids got pregnant, man. I mean, I'm being a bit facetious, to be honest with you. You asked me if I'm Arab. No, I am not Laysa Arab. How do I كيف يتكلم عربي؟ That is because أنا درست العربية في جامعة فلوريدا. لكن أنا درست لكن درست فصحى. I know أنا عارف عامية قليلا شوية شوية, but not too much though. Oh my god. Lubnan. But I'm gonna tell you though, and I'm gonna sound crazy saying this. Trump, he gonna get that Palestine right. Y'all done messed up. Should have never did what you did to Israel. Mm-mm. It's over for them. It's a wrap. It is a wrap for those Palestinians. It's over. It's over. You said, do I support Israel? I. That is a very complicated subject that I actually do not want to discuss because the problem is that everybody swears they know everything about what's happening in Palestine because they're getting all their information from TikTok. And the truth is that what's happening in Palestine is far more complex than you could sum up in some TikTok video within 5 minutes. Hell, even 10 minutes. And this is coming from somebody who, quite honestly, I was very ardently pro-Palestine. It's not genocide. I think using that word in this context is very disingenuous because if the Israelis really wanted to commit genocide against Palestinians, they could have done that decades ago. The Palestinian population has literally damn near quadrupled since the 60s. I don't think you all realize, to be honest with you, there is a lot of gaslighting on the part of the Palestinians. There really is. There really is. There really is. Because the United States, in good faith, has tried so many times to get the Israelis and the Palestinians together to negotiate and come up with a peace agreement so that the Palestinians could eventually have their own separate territory, separate state. And just as they were on the cusp of coming up with some sort of agreement, the Palestinians, they back out of it. Because ultimately, they don't want Israel to exist. And that's never going to happen. Never. But their whole entire policy is built on, well, we do want peace. But peace on their terms that essentially puts Israel at odds. 900 families got eliminated, and you don't think that that's genocide, and you know better than the ICJ. And well, first of all, the ICJ and the UN is heavily politicized, so that's number one. And I'm not going to sit up here and most of the Palestinians on TikTok didn't want Kamala to win. Let them fight their own battles. Exactly. So that's another issue too. But I want to be honest with you guys. The other thing is, and this is something that I think is very disingenuous on the part of Palestinians, is the fact that they will never come out the gate and repudiate and disavow Hamas. They will never do that. And Hamas is a full-on theocratic fascist terrorist organization hell-bent on inevitably establishing an Islamic state in the Levant. No, it's Hamas. Kha is a separate letter in Arabic. There's Kha and then there's Ha. Hamas. And Hamas, what people don't realize, but Israel establishing a Jewish state in the Levant is different. Well, first of all, here's the thing about that. You y'all make it seem like Jews just came over and just stole land from Palestinians, put guns to their head and said, "Give me this money. I mean, give me this land. This is my land now." That is not what happened. That is extreme historical revisionism. That is not what happened. That is not what happened. That is not what happened. The British didn't even give it to them. First of all, there was always a small Jewish presence in the Levant. The Jews never really went away. Even when the Romans tried to expel them, they never really, there was always a small community of Jewish people living in the Levant. Small. Okay? But those numbers began to swell during the time of the pogroms in Russia, when they were facing genocidal slaughter in Russia under Tsarist Russia. Many of them began fleeing to Europe and the United States. And then that's also when you started to see the establishment of the World Zionist Congress, Theodore Herzl. And there was discussions about how can we avoid being slaughtered again? Can we figure out a way how to start our own nation state so that way we can, not face this continuous onslaught from Christians, from Muslims? And they debated different regions that they could go to. Argentina, I think at one point, somewhere in Africa, I think it was like, what was it? I want to say it was like, yeah, Uganda. There you go. I was going to say Congo. No, it's Uganda. Um, but inevitably, there was already a flourishing community of Jews living in the Levant. So many Jews started migrating there. And you know what they started doing? They started legally purchasing land from Turkish landowners who controlled the whole entire region, the Ottoman Turks. They were the administrators of that whole entire area. There's a flourishing community of Jews in New York. Should they take that over too? Not during this time. Jews, when they were coming to America, they were literally escaping a genocidal slaughter in Russia. And they ended up in ghettos and housing projects all up in Brooklyn, Manhattan. Yeah. Jews didn't come over here with, virtually came over here with nothing to their name. Y'all have got to stop. And let me tell you something. This is the hypocrisy with this. And I notice that a lot of black people do this. You are only doing this because Jews are seen as white. They're white. In your eyes, they're white. Because I guarantee you, if Jews, they're not white. They're not. They're not white. They're not. Jews at one point in time faced horrible discrimination in the United States, almost akin to the maltreatment that black people faced. Like, there were parts of the South where you could not go. If you were Jewish, there were literally signs saying no Negroes allowed, no colors allowed, and no Jews allowed. That was one of the reasons why so many Jews were intimately involved in the establishment of many civil rights organizations in the 30s. Because, and here's another reality that people don't realize. You can say you're not Jewish. You can't say you're not black. That's not true. That's not true. Back then, it was very identifiable that you were Jewish. You got to understand, these were immigrants coming from Russia and other parts of Eastern Europe, and a lot of Jews have, right, exactly, like their noses, their hair, their texture of their hair, their skin tone. Many Jews tan. They tan. But I'm telling you, Jews, they face some really fucked up forms of discrimination in the United States. I'm telling you, many of them they were in housing projects. They were in housing projects. They were poor, destitute. They are white, especially in Europe. They don't look no different than Europeans. That's not true at all. That is not true. You can tell that there are a lot of Jewish. You can tell the difference between. Now, are there some Jews that look very European? Yes, yes, or very white? Yes, there are. But for the most part, a lot of Jews, especially those coming from Eastern Europe, it's very obvious that they're Jewish. It's very obvious. And the hair is a good telltale giveaway. A lot of Jews have really thick hair, thick, kinky hair. I'm not talking about black Jews. I ain't talking about those fake ones. Oh, the Ethiopian Jews. Yeah, yeah. Beta Israel, yes. What I'm talking about is I can also conquer people's land and reclaim. But they never conquered their land, though. This is what I'm saying. You are engaging in outright historical revisionism. You are. Because the Jews, they never came there with guns ablazing, literally forcing people out of their homes and saying, no, they legally purchased land from Ottoman Turkish administrators and started setting up agricultural settlements in parts of the Negev and other parts of Israel that just simply wasn't even inhabited. It was not inhabited. And it really wasn't until they started developing some very flourishing communities with some very advanced some very advanced agricultural technology, and they were very successful at what they're doing. That started a lot of animosity with Palestinian tribes and communities in and around the area. And then, of course, World War I comes. The Ottomans, they aligned. No, it was not a form of colonialism. It was not. I'm telling you, they went and legally purchased land. They went and legally, this is what I'm trying to say. They legally purchased land. I'm not Tiffany Haddish. I'm not. I'm trying to give you all a really straight up, unbiased history of what happened. It was literally a form of colonialism. The Brits supported it. Wait, Israel was established by the British in 1949. It was not. They got their independence from the UN 1948. Now, the British, with the Balfour Declaration, it did support the establishment of the state of Israel in that area. But that was also because the Zionists were heavily lobbying the British government and the monarchy to help, to give them support. But inevitably, what happened was, well, it wasn't the British that gave them independence, though. They were just recognized by the United Nations, the newly formed United Nations, to be an independent state. And when they declared, here's the crazy part: um, when they declared their independence, what happened? Now, mind you, here's something else. You'll never hear Palestinians talk about this either, and they don't like talking about this. But you all do realize that the Palestinians were Nazi sympathizers, right? In fact, the chief imam of Jerusalem, um, Imam Hosseini, Mufti Hosseini, the chief Mufti of Jerusalem, he was a straight up Hitler supporter. Straight up Hitler supporter. They got a whole picture. They got a whole picture of the Mufti with Hitler. He met Hitler. And in exchange for their support, for supporting the Nazis, Hitler agreed, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I'll help you get. You say you need to see this picture. I can bring it up. Look, hold on. They don't never love to talk about this. I mean, a lot of these Arab groups, like even like the Ba'ath Party, the Arab Nationalist Party, the Ba'ath Party, literally these were Nazis. These were Arab Nazis. I got you, Queen. Look at this here. Look at this. Look at this here. Oh shit. My bad. Look at this here. Who you think this? Who you think this thing is? Him right here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that thing there. You see that? This was the leader of the Palestinians in the 30s. Done met with motherfucking Adolf Hitler. Look at him. Look at him meet with the Nazis. Like these people were full on Nazi sympathizers. What do you think the Jews were going to do? Oh, 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 these people. Look at him, Heil Hitler. Look at him throwing up the Heil Hitler. He meet with German troops. This is the Mufti of Jerusalem. The Mufti of damn Jerusalem. Meeting with Nazis. So what does this mean? It means that the Jews had every right to defend themselves and to do what they had to do. But see, here's the thing, and that this is the reason why I hate social media and TikTok. Everybody wants to motherfucking be a motherfucking, like, it's trendy. Like, if you say anything that's contrary to the narratives that's being pushed out on TikTok about Palestine, this, that, 90% of people in Israel today aren't even genetically from that area. They're Polish, and that's not true. And that's another thing. See, this is another thing that a lot of Arabs love to do, because Arabs really are racist against Jews. They really are. They're racist against Arabs and black people. Let me tell you something. Um, More than 40-50% of the Jews that live in Israel are Sephardic Jews, and many of them are Arab. See, they don't like talking about this shit. Many Israeli Jews are Arab. Because you know what happened? Because you know what happened? Let me tell you something. After 1948, when Israel declared their independence and established and sought recognition from the UN, there was the War for Independence, the 1948 War for Independence. All the major Arab countries surrounding them went full on and tried to invade them and tried to fuck them up. And the early Jewish state, they was like, nope. They pushed them back. And it was crazy too, because they were outnumbered. Literally every major Arab country sent troops to try to destroy Israel. Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon, um, Iraq, um, Syria, all of these. They were even pulling troops from other Gulf nations like Yemen, I believe. A lot of these countries went full-fledged ham trying to fuck Israel up, and Israel was able to successfully defend themselves. Now, they did have some slight assistance from the United States and Britain, but I'm telling you, they held it down. They pushed them back. And when they lost, when those Arab countries lost, they were sore losers, because then you know what they turned around and did? They went and started ethnically cleansing. They started ethnically cleansing their countries, getting rid of all the Arab Jewish communities that existed within their countries. There were a lot of Jews that lived in the Middle East, all throughout North Africa, especially in Egypt. Iraq had a large Jewish community. Iran, they all these Muslim countries are like, Jews gotta go. And they kicked them all out. And many of these Jews, where they end up, they were refugees to the new state of Israel. Yeah. See, they'll never want to talk about that. They'll never. Oh, another thing that a lot of Palestinians don't want to talk about. A lot of them don't even want to talk about the fact that, oh yeah, before the Balfour Declaration, when that whole entire, well, not the Balfour Declaration, but before 1948, before World War II, when this area was the British Mandate for Palestine, there were a lot of people who were coming in from Egypt, in the Gaza Strip, of these Palestinians are not even actual Palestinians. They're just Egyptians who ended up working in Palestine and they ended up staying and then they started claiming Palestinian identity. But many of them, when you do their DNA tests and stuff, they are related to, they literally are related to Egyptians. That's something else too they don't never want to talk about. They don't ever want to talk about it. Those the Palestinians and Gaza have more in common. Yeah, they don't ever want to talk about it. Yep. What do you think about a ceasefire, or do you think they should just be annihilated? I think annihilation is a strong word. I don't think the Israelis will even want to do that. That was never their goal. Remember, you guys, they're the ones who they pulled out of Gaza in 2005. They were like, we don't want to have nothing to do with this no more. They're the ones who pulled out of Gaza and they built a wall around the Gaza Strip to stop them from coming in because they were like, y'all, we don't, y'all are, no. Oh, it's official. I know Kamala, man, Kamala Harris. I'm gonna do my best impression of Kamala Harris. My name is Kamala Harris, and I'm running to be president of the United States of America. I just believe that we just want to get by. We just want to have America to be united again. I just believe that we can make America great again. What else? She wouldn't say that. We can make America a place that our children and our grandchildren can grow up and be the best they could be. I believe in America. We just want. I'm from the middle class. Yeah, Kamala Harris. I know she's probably mad. I know she mad. I know. I just know she went. I should put some money in crypto. Kamala Harris. Am I not mad? Why would I be mad? Why everybody keep saying I'm mad or that I'm dis? I'm not one of these liberal, uh, um, black people out here crying of Kamala. No, what has been a burden has been burdened by what has been. You know, I grew up in a middle class household, and I know what it's like to see a mother struggle every day to pay her bills because those bills were sky high. And the reality is that we live in a country where bills are a part of life. But that does not mean that bills have to define your life. The middle class is not about paying bills. And that's why I want to raise taxes. I want to do what's right and not have the middle class pay more bills because they already have enough bills. Oh my god. I speak just like her, yeah, I'm telling you. My plans include giving people, first time homeowner buyers, a shot at the American dream because that dream is something that is near and dear to everybody's heart. That dream is about being in the middle class. That dream means that your child, my child, her child, your grandchildren, my great grandchildren can be a part of the middle class and go out, buy a house to be a part of the middle class. Because that is what America is all about. I believe that Donald Trump is not competent to be the president of the United States because he wants to destroy the middle class. And I know what it's like to come from the middle class and to almost have that to be taken away from me. Wait, how does she laugh? How